Hi everyone, it's me again. Belated Independence Day wishes to you. For the past 2 days, I have been thinking how to wish you all. Given that we are protesting so many different things in the current political climate of India, I had an ethical conundrum. How can I or we celebrate the freedom of our nation when the vast majority does not feel safe or free? Women, Dalit, minorities, tribals, OBCs, academicians, activists, and intelligentsia. We make over 90% of the Indian population, yet we don't feel free or safe. How can we celebrate our independence? Then our beloved Prime Minister Modi helped me with a resolve. If we don't celebrate the idea of India, which we inherited from the freedom fighters through the Indian Constitution, someone else will steal it in the broad daylight and repackage it with their own nonsense and impose it on us. Like the Prime Minister Modi did it on August 15th this year from Lal Killa. In his speech, he hailed the 100 years of RSS as a very proud and glorious journey and tried to gift the legacy of the freedom movement to the RSS. Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh, which roughly translates to National Self Help Organization. Let's take a few minutes to learn the legacy of RSS. In 1925, RSS was established. For the 22 years from its inception to the independence, RSS didn't take part in any freedom movement, even though primarily it is a paramilitary group which trains its cadres. Then what were they doing if not fighting the British? They were preparing for riots when eventually Britishers would leave, and that's what they did. RSS was organizing people to inspire and encourage to do nothing. I say it one more time, loud and clear, absolutely nothing for the freedom movement of India. Instead, actively discouraged people who were participating in the freedom struggle. Let me give you a few historically accurate examples with sources. First example: when people tried to convince and pursue RSS to join the freedom movement, this is what Mr. M.S. Golwalkar had to say to discourage them. Quote, there is another reason for the need to remain involved in the routine work. There is some unrest in the mind due to the situation developing in the country from time to time. There was such unrest in 1942. Before that, there was a movement in 1930-31. At the time, many other people had gone to Dr. G, referring to the first General Secretary of RSS, Hegdewar. This delegation told Dr. G that this movement will give independence and the Sangh should not lag behind. At that time, when a gentleman told him that he was ready to go to jail, Dr. G said, definitely go, but who will take care of your family then? Unquote. I'm quoting this statement from book Sri Guruji Samagra Darshan, volume 4, page 39 to 40. This volume and the other volumes were published by RSS affiliated publications Suruchi Prakashan and Bharatiya Vichar Sadhana. Second example: Mr. M.S. Golwalkar, in his speech at Indore in 1960, long after the Britishers were gone, admitted that many people worked with the inspiration to free the country by throwing the British out. After the British left, this inspiration slacked. In fact, there was no need to have this much inspiration. We should remember that in our pledge, we have talked of the freedom of the country through defending the religion and culture. There is no mention of departure of British in that. Unquote. Sri Guruji Samagra Darshan, Volume 4, page 2. Third example: self acclaimed Veer Savarkar, BJP and RSS most revered leader, he not only wrote five mercy petitions pledging his allegiance to the British Empire in return for his release from the prison Kalapani, but he also actively recruited soldiers for the British Raj when Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's INA, Indian National Army, fought the British Raj. Let me summarize this discussion with two ideas of India. The first idea is progressive, given by our freedom fighters, and the other one is regressive, preached by the RSS. RSS claims to be a cultural organization. They organize people based on the ideals of Varnashram, Sanatan Dharma, and Brahmanism. Three different names for the same idea. Probably they have a dozen more new names to repackage the age old idea. This idea of RSS is incompatible with and diametrically opposite to the idea of India, which is liberty, equality, and fraternity, enshrined and imbibed in the Indian Constitution. These two ideas has been clashing with each other for over 100 years now. The constitution was written to replace the latter with the former. The idea of liberty, equality, and fraternity forms the bedrock of a just society which is envisioned by the freedom fighters of India such as Shahid Comrade Bhagat Singh, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Mahatma Gandhi, and many, many more actual views of our nation. RSS, as a cultural organization, wants to be the authority on Indian culture, identity, and traditions. They want to be the censor board for all of India. They have always been and will be telling you what to eat, what not to eat, what to wear, what not to wear, what is Indian and what is anti Indian, whom to marry, whom not to marry, who can have a voice, and which gender deserves freedom. Now, only an intellectually dishonest person with an evil intent to appropriate the legacy of Indian freedom movement and misguide the Indian masses can do such a disgrace and a disservice to the nation. I strongly condemn the Prime Minister of India for trying to give the legacy of the freedom movement to the RSS for the reasons I just mentioned in the video. If you agree with this rationale, I advise you to do the same. Let's educate ourselves about our rights and educate others. Cherish the values of our Constitution. Protect the idea of our India. We are humans first, we are one species, irrespective of melanin produced in our skins and the nature of pigment granules. This Independence Day, let's pledge to promote scientific temperament in our nation and in our hearts, and speak against the theocratization of our beloved country. Do not allow intellectually dishonest politicians to weaponize you by selling their power hungry, filthy, regressive dreams to you. We need to speak for one another. Let's speak for unity in diversity. Jai Bhim, Jai Hind.